As you mentioned, very physical, committing lots of players to the break ground. Not typically what you'd see. Sometimes throws other teams off base. They're expecting a certain level of competition and doesn't quite pan out. So we will see how they handle it with Cal Poly taking the kick. Nice high kick. Just going 10 and a fantastic take there. Working the ball wide. Oh, and a bit of space opening up in that line. Can Cal Poly finish it up? Beautiful support on the inside.
Wow. That's the way you want to play sevens. Win your own restart, couple passes, and you're under the posts.
Absolutely. And they made it look easy, but not easy, obviously. Lots of players had their hands on the ball, moving it really well, Pat. As you said, that's sort of textbook stuff, what you like to see out of that team.
That really is. North Carolina State's going to have to come back strong and not let this early lapse in defensive pressure affect them for the rest of the contest.
So Cal Poly early on showing a bit of class there, moving the ball well, able to get that restart. Nice interchange of hands there, and the support line was very, very good. Obviously a nice break. A lot of teams that certainly don't play a better system might let that runner see what happens. And in that case, they're actually supporting and really moving off the ball and working hard. So really well done there. Let's see what happens on this restart.
Clear that Cal Poly has played a lot of sevens this fall.
Absolutely. Good high kick there again. Cal Poly not able to regather this one, although looks like they've done so in the loose. And a penalty there. Cal Poly taking quickly. Taking it to the line here. Bit of lateral running, but able to draw some defenders, just not quite able to get a flat enough pass there, but doesn't matter in the end. A beautiful step there, able to go in under the post. Sometimes you just need that individual athleticism to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, he beat about 3 defenders there by himself, Michael Mitchell. And, you know, that's where you saw that play all started from the penalty at the breakdown against NC State, being a little bit over-aggressive, trying to win the ruck.
Yeah, it's one of those situations you want to be aggressive. You want to take it to the line as hard as you can, so to speak, but you got to be careful not to go over. Seven's one of those games. So much space, such a fast pace. When you turn the ball over that quickly, it's really easy for a team to get on top if you're not ready for it at those penalty situations. And as we saw Cal Poly punishing them.
NC State needs to field this restart cleanly and get into some sort of offensive structure. If they don't, this could be a long game.
And a little bit deeper kick here. Oh, not what you want to see right there. It's a deep kick, but not taken cleanly by NC State. As you mentioned, Pat, you really just need to reconcile this ball here if you're NC State and hold on to it for a minute, maybe build a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, that's 3 straight restarts that they haven't fielded cleanly and have turned ball over to Cal Poly. So when you don't have possession, you're obviously going to be at a severe disadvantage.
Yeah, sevens, obviously such a possession-oriented game. Restarts even more critical in sevens maybe than they are in 15s. You're just not guaranteed to get those in the same way. It is one of those things, a team that can do it really well can put you under a lot of pressure. Cal Poly able to win it there. Oh, and a big hole opening up, but NC State, oh, with a really nice bit of skill there. Pass out the back, only one man. Oh,
that's champagne rugby.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, sometimes it's,
that was Mitchell again with another try. That's his second.
You know, it's just that draw and pass as you see it. Again, the most complicated things in rugby all boil down to just doing the basics really, really well there. They work the ball out wide, 2-on-1, draw the man in, never going to stop them.
Just like that, it's 21-0.
So Cal Poly obviously jumping to a pretty early lead here. All 3 tries really coming off the back of restarts here, their own kicks, which Sevens Rugby, a good team, should win about as many of their own kicks as they lose. But if you're NC State here, you got to get one of these things back.
Yeah, they have been absolutely starved of possession.
And Cal Poly handling
4 for 4.
South
Cal
Carolina
Poly on their own restarts now.
Absolutely. Well, they did the business earlier today against South Carolina, 36-12, I believe, and they look to do it here a bit more. Really nice run on the outside. That's Mitchell again.
Hat trick. 5 minutes into the game, and he's notched 3 tries. Clearly a player to watch throughout the rest of this tournament.
Absolutely. Certainly Cal Poly playing well within a team, but individual brilliance like that, it's difficult to coach and it's difficult to stop. Just that X factor when a guy has the space on the outside and the speed to take advantage of it, it's just hard to game plan against it.
Absolutely, and North Carolina State has clearly not done a good job of trying to identify where those strike runners are for Cal Poly.
Cal Poly winning the California State University Sevens Championship to qualify here. So obviously a very, very competitive league that they play in. Used to playing a lot of sevens rugby. You can tell they're playing a really, really good brand of it today. Certainly a very polished performance we're seeing from them in their previous game and in this game.
You know, NC State has one of the most dynamic players in this tournament in Dominic Goldston, yet we haven't seen him touch the ball once.
Well, as you mentioned, it is tough to make anything happen without the ball, and so far, this is the first restart that NC State has really been able to get a hold of, and an interesting little play there. Chip does work, player not held on the ground, so able to keep going.
Now they look to be working the ball to Goldston. There he is right there.
Oh, and a brilliant little run on the outside, showing that pace is, and he is not gonna be stopped. Fantastic run.
Well, like I said, if they can get the ball in his hands, he's a danger man, but that's the first time they've had possession for more than 5 seconds.
No, and just a brilliant piece of individual play there, showing a lot of pace, speed, and honestly some savvy there in how he ran, drawing that last defender in and then taking just that subtle step to the outside. Not going to stop him. And that's the second try of the day for Dominic. Starting to build into a pretty good tournament for him, hopefully. Let's see, so this will be the first kickoff for NC State after that score.
Well, time is up on the half, so they will have the restart to start the second half.
Kick was not converted, so we have a score of 28-5 here. So Pat, obviously a tough first half right now for NC State. Knowing that team as you do, what do you think they're saying to their players right now to try to get back into this second half?
Well, I think they're probably just focusing on the fact that they ended the half on a positive note. They clearly see that when they have possession, they can do some good things. The key is to just get and maintain possession. The restarts just killed them in that first half. I think in this second half, if they can settle down, they can make a game of it. They may have dug themselves too deep of a hole at this point, though.
Well, certainly a big deficit here, 23 points. Even though sevens rugby, you can score a lot of points very, very quickly, as we've seen. It's certainly still a bit of a road to hoe here, as they say. But they are endeavoring to do just that. Play about to get underway here as the second half commences. Cal Poly in green with North Carolina State in red.
NC State has a hometown hero in TJ Dixon, wearing number 2. Learned his rugby here in Greensboro with Triad Youth Rugby, now playing for the Wolfpack.
And it's really fantastic to see that youth rugby coming through. It's probably one of the first generations we've had of players playing at a very, very young age coming through these high school systems across the country. It's really been a really great story.
It is nice to see on these rosters that we have in front of us, Brad, that so many of these players have 5, 6, 7 years of experience, and they're still just freshmen in college.
Absolutely, and the quality of play certainly reflects it. Cal Poly, nice little pass to the inside runner. Good support play there. Plenty of options. Nice inside support runner once again. Bit of a long pass.
That was a fantastic pass.
Nicholas Frost able to make up a lot of distance. Fastest player on the field's the ball, I've heard it said. He's certainly testing that out. Moving the ball around beautifully here. Backhanded pass not quite working there, but the referee says no knock on. A little bit sloppy here, but oh, interesting. Able to keep moving forward there. We have a penalty here, quickly taken by Cal Poly. And Cal Poly doing a fantastic job here of keeping this ball alive, really working it out well, and boy, that's gonna be, there you go, and in for the score, not gonna stop it. And Pat, what a build-up there. I mean, certainly almost a full length of the field here. Pass after pass after pass after pass, just a really fantastic job of continuity there from Cal Poly.
Absolutely, very good ball skills from all 7 players on the field for the Mustangs. Multi-phase, moving left to right, just really good sevens rugby.
No, fantastic stuff. I mean, exactly what you want to see out of sevens, using the ball, making it work for you, and just beautiful support play from Cal Poly. Honestly, always having at least one person to pass off to of each shoulder. That's textbook stuff. That's exactly what you want to see out of your team.
And this is going to set up a fantastic last match of pool play between Cal Poly and Dartmouth. Both of those teams are just fantastic sevens programs with some really good players, and I'm excited to see that one later tonight.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Robert Jordan has come on the field. He is a local product as well for NC State out of the East Chapel Hill Highlanders program, just down the road, Chapel Hill. Cal Poly also bringing on some subs now with the game seemingly well in hand.
Good pressure there from Cal Poly, but NC State able to get a hold of this ball and work it out. Just passes not quite working out. They do a good job to kill that ball there, though.
Got to be able to execute those fundamentals, Brad. If you can't make a 10-meter pass off both hands, you're going to find yourself in trouble in sevens game at this level.
Absolutely. It all starts with the fundamentals, doesn't it? You hear it over and over and over again, but it doesn't make it any less true. It's all about the passing. The simple skills are really what make the difference between good and great teams.
And Cal Poly, after they qualified early for this tournament, winning the State Universities tournament in California, and then they continued to play a lot of sevens this fall, building a lot of depth, and you're seeing that here, that they've run on a couple new guys, and their level of play hasn't dropped one bit.
Just a fantastic offload there, but not a smart pass there. And now that just really electric play, Dominic here. The referee going to call back. Got a knock on there. And going to be NC State scrum.
Yeah, Goldston has certainly shown the flashes of brilliance. He just hasn't had the support from the rest of his players to get him the ball where he needs to have it.
Well, as you said earlier, with Cal Poly playing all the sevens rugby, you know, I think that seems to be one of the advantages today. You can tell the teams that have spent the time to develop a good sevens game, as opposed to some teams that appear to have kind of converted from 15s and maybe not put the time into their sevens programs that they typically would for the fuller version of the game.
And that's NC State's issue right there, although there's a nice break.
Absolutely. One man to beat, just not able to do it. Good defense from the sweeper in Cal Poly. Corey Hype there on the break for NC State, but Cal Poly regathering. Able to force that turnover from NC State despite bad situation, and it's a bit of a foot race here. Cal Poly running it in, just straightforward run, as simple as you like.
Matthew Long with the try for Cal Poly. And as I was saying before, Brad, NC State, one of those teams that played a full fall 15 schedule and just transitioned to sevens right before this tournament. had a good showing at the ACRL sevens, but it's clear the difference between the teams here that have been playing sevens all fall and the teams that have just transitioned right out of their 15 season. Very few programs are going to be able to make that transition. Dartmouth, I would say, is one of the few that's able to do that, seamlessly transition from 15s to sevens.
Certainly good coaching, good support structures do help. And they seem to have built a good core of players. One of the strengths of this Dartmouth team that I've noticed over the years is they've done a very good job of adding players, but there's not a whole lot of chopping and changing. They've really built a good core team and been able to evolve that team over time without making wholesale changes. And you see that continuity play out on the field.
That's true. When you've got in your top side, you've got freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, there's always going to be guys who are experienced, and they're going to carry the day when you bring the new crop in and there's not much fall off.
Cal Poly putting pressure on NC State, but a knock on there.
Been really impressed with Cal Poly's ability to regain their own restarts.
Absolutely. Certainly the teams that have dominated this weekend have done so at the restart. It's one of those areas of the game, as we've said over and over and over during this broadcast, that so important. It's much better opportunity to win your own ball in sevens rugby, and you can tell the teams that have really practiced that able to either put teams under pressure or regather, and they have really carried the day in these tournaments so far. So a little sloppy there. It was a nice little chip ahead. It looked like Cal Poly was going to regather, but and NC State able to pick it up, but knock-ons from both teams. Referee is awarding a scrum here. It appears that Cal Poly knocking on first, so this is an NC State scrum.
NC State will have an opportunity to finish this game on a high note.
Let's see if they can make the best of this situation in a dominant scrum from Cal Poly, but the ball's spinning out the back. NC State looked to have regathered. Now Cal Poly's got it, kicking it out of bounds, and that is the ball game. A really, really dominant display there from Cal Poly, 40-5, showing just a fantastic style of rugby there. Real classic sevens, lots of ball movement, lots of continuity. Just a really, really fantastic display.
It was, Brad, and I think Dallon's going to come back in now, so we thank you for your assistance, and hopefully we'll have you back on the mic later this evening.
Always a pleasure.